So good morning, students. We'll proceed with the bivariate random variable case. So till now, what we have seen is what is bivariate random variables. Actually, we want to understand the concepts of multiple random variables, but we have only taken the case of bivariate, that is two random variables, because the same concepts can then be extended to multiple random variables. So here we are concentrating on bivariate random variables. So we have two random variables at the same time, that is x and y, or u and v, right? And then what we have seen is how we can extend and find the CDF and PDF for such random variables, and we have seen that it is only an extension of the single random variable. So for example, if you have fx of x as the CDF or the PDF, in bivariate case it will be fxy of x comma y, right? But the properties remain the same. And then we have also seen how we can find individual CDFs and PDFs from the bivariate PDF. So that happens when one of the values or both the values turn out to be infinity. But when one of the values, that is x and y, or both the values turn out to be negative infinity, then the CDF and PDF is zero. Right? Then in the last class, we looked at expectations, which is again an extension of the expectations from the single random variable. So instead of just x fx of x, that is for mean, we have xy fxy of xy dx dy. So the one integral just turns out to be a double integral. Right? And similarly with the variance as well, but we were more interested in finding the covariance, from which we could understand correlation, independence, uncorrelation, and so on and so forth. Right? And in the last part of the previous lecture, we looked at bivariate transformation, which is what you see on the screen. So in the bivariate transformation case, we want to show or demonstrate other random variables in the form of the given random variables. So what random variables we are given is x and y, and we want to demonstrate the new random variables u and v in terms of x and y, right? And we consider the linear transformation because that is one of the easier transformations. Of course, you can also have a non-linear transformation, but we'll not go into that, right? So we define u as some ax plus by and v as cx plus dy, and then we can find the mean, which I showed you last time. And then we can also find the variance values, right? So we can find sigma u square and sigma v square, and from there we can find the covariance of u comma v, right? And I had also explained you what is the purpose of doing this transformation. So I had taken the example of noise affecting the input signal. So if you have signal S and if you have noise N, that noise N is going to corrupt the signal. Basically, it is going to transform the input signal. Right? So that is the application of this transformation. The application will come across in higher semesters, but this is the idea behind it. Right? So now let's look at the numericals on linear transformations. So I'll solve the first numerical, so you'll get an idea of how to solve it, and the next numerical I'll give you time to solve it. So let me read out the question. The question is, x is a random variable, right? And we are given mu x is 4, sigma x is 5. Similarly, y is a random variable. We are given mu y is 6 and sigma y is 7. We are also given the correlation coefficient is negative 0.7. That means the relation of x and y is on the negative side, right? Then we are given if u equals 3x plus 2y, find variance of u, covariance ux, and covariance uy. So these are the three parts. Let me put in serial number so it will be clear to us, right? So we need to find variance of u, covariance of and a third covariance of u, right? So looking at the question, we should understand that it's a case of transformation, because what we are given is x and y, that is the random variables, but we also are given another random variable u, which is in the form of 3x plus 2y, right? Okay. Now I've been repeating this, I'll repeat again. Whenever a question like this is given, always first note down what are the variables which are given to us, right? So let me write it here, and meanwhile I'm hoping that you're noting down the variables or whatever data is given, because I have to scroll down, right? So, or let me start here. So what we are given, right? We are given mu x equal to 4. Many a times they'll not give you mu x equal to 4. They'll say mean of x is 4. So we need to understand what that is. Okay. So please be prepared for that. Sigma x is 5. Please again note sigma x is given, not sigma square x. So we need to be very careful there. Okay. Because usually our tendency is to deal with variance in this course, but sometimes they'll just give you standard deviation. Okay. Mu y is 6 and sigma y is 7. What we are also given is the correlation coefficient, which we denote as rho xy, which is negative 0.7. Okay. I had mentioned this to you before also. In many books, you'll find this as rxy or rxy. So any of these are also okay, but I am only denoting it as rho x. Okay. And what we need to find is those three values, variance and covariance. Okay. So let's first see the first part where we need to find the variance of u. Okay. What we are also given, let me also write that, is u is 3x plus 2. We are also given that, right? So with these values that we have, we need to first find variance of u. Variance of u, right? Now we know that when a random variable, another random variable is given to us, we can write it as u equal to ax plus by. U equal to ax plus by, and we have done this. Mathematics, but I'll just do the mathematics again of how to find the variance value, right? If u, which is basically sigma u square, right? So if I have to find that, then sigma u square is E of u minus mu u the whole square, right? Now at this point we must be wondering that I need the value of average, but you will see that that is not required as we move ahead, right? So this will be E of, let me write u. U is ax plus by, right? And minus, now I'll multiply that mu u as well. So I'll have a mu x minus a mu y the whole square. I can write this as E of a into x minus mu x the plus b of y minus mu y the whole square. So a into x minus mu x is actually the a, and b into y minus mu y is actually b. So we have this expectation in the terms of a plus b the whole square. Therefore, we can write this as E of a square x square, or rather x minus mu x the whole square plus b square y minus mu y the whole square plus 2ab x minus mu x into y minus mu y. Right? Now expectation is a linear operator, and the expectation of a constant doesn't make sense. So I can take the constant out. So a square E of x minus mu x the whole square. Similarly, second term b square is out. Expectation of y minus mu y the whole square. and the third term is plus 2ab of expectation of x minus mu x into y minus mu y. Now the first term is nothing but the variance of x, e of x minus mu x the whole square, and nothing but the variance. So a square sigma x square plus, similarly the second term is b square sigma y square plus the last term is 2ab, and e of x minus mu x into y minus mu y is nothing but covariance of xy. Right? So basically sigma u square just turns out to be that value. Right? So now with this, I can directly substitute the values which are given to us. I'm hoping you have the values with you. So sigma u square, so sigma u square is let's say a square, sigma x which is given to us is 5, so we'll have 25, plus b square, sigma y is 7, so sigma y square is 49, plus 2ab, and there is a covariance value, right? So let's try to find that out, right? So till now we have sigma x square and sigma y square, right? Now you must be wondering what is the value of a and b, but if you see, and let me write this on top here, u is 3x plus 2y, right? And we are considering ax plus by, therefore a is 3 and b is 2, right? So in the next step I can substitute for a and b. So a is 3, so I'll get 9 into 25, plus b is 2, so I'll get 4 into 49, plus 2 into 3 into 2, and covariance of xy, that is sigma u square. Okay. Okay. Now we are only left with covariance xy. Can anyone tell me how can we find covariance of xy? Anybody? How can I find covariance of xy?
Correlation coefficient.
By
Using correlation coefficient, sir.
Yeah, using the correlation coefficient. That's correct, right? So we know that rho xy is covariance of xy divided by sigma x sigma y. From here I can find covariance of xy, which is rho xy sigma x sigma y, and all these three values are already given to us, right? So covariance of xy is rho xy, which is negative 0.7, into rho x rho y, which is 5. Rho x is 5 and rho y is 7. Therefore what we'll get is negative 0.7 into 35, which turns out to be negative 24.5, right? So therefore sigma u square is 9 into 25 plus 4 into 49 plus 2 into 3 into 2 into negative 24.5. So you can do the calculation and let me know what answer you get. Anyone, what answer do you get? So I get, let's see, I get
127.
421 minus 294, 127. Are you getting that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the variance value, that is the first step we need to find, sigma u square is 127. Okay. So you'll see that most part is only algebra. There's only a little bit of concept from random variables. Okay. So if you are able to do that, then you'll get your answer. Okay. Okay. Then the second part, we need to find covariance of ux. Covariance of ux. Okay. So we need to know the definition of covariance, right? And covariance of ux. Can anyone tell me what is the definition of covariance? From there, we'll get an answer. How do we find covariance?
E of x minus mu x y minus mu y.
Right. So let me write this here. Covariance of xy is E of xy minus mu x mu y. Right? So if you want covariance of ux, as in this case, so covariance of ux will be E of ux minus mu u mu x, mu u into mu x, right? Now we know that, or what is given to us, let me bracket so there is no confusion. This is the definition of covariance, the one that I'm putting in the bracket. Okay. Now we know that u is 3x plus 2y, right? Therefore, if I have to calculate the mu value, we know that mu is just, if I have to calculate mu u, it will be E of u, which will be E of 3x plus 2y, right? And since expectation is a linear operator, it will be E of 3x, E of 3x plus E of 2y. Since there is no expectation of constant, we will get 3ex plus 2ey, 3 mu x plus 2 mu y, and these values are already given to us. We are given mu x as 4 and we are given mu y as 6, so you'll get 3 into 4 plus 2 into 6, which is 12 plus 12, so that value is 24. Right? So in the covariance definition, we have got the value of mu u. We already know the value of mu x, which is right. So this part is done, the one that I'm bracketing here, okay, on top. So this part we already know. All we have to do is find the value of E of ux, right? So if I want to find the value of E of ux, right? So E of ux, right, will be E of, now I'll substitute the value of u, which is 3x plus 2y into x. So it will be E of 3x square plus 2xy, right? Now, expectation is a linear operator, therefore I can write this as E of x square, sorry, E of 3x square plus E of 2xy, right? Which can also be written as 3E of x square plus 2E of xy. Right? I hope this is clear how to find this. Right? So now our job is to find E of x square and E of xy. Right? Now, any ideas how can we find E of x square? How can we find this value, E of x square? Anybody? Any ideas? Okay, so let's see. We know that sigma x square is E of x square minus E of x, the whole square, which is also written as E of x square minus mu x square, right? From here, I can find E of x square as sigma x square plus mu x square. Sigma x is already given to us, right? Sigma x value is already given to us. Let me check what value that is. Sigma x value is 5. So it will become 16 and this value will be 41. So E of x square is already found. Right? E of x square is already found. So this part here, we are trying to find this E of ux in which E of x square is already found. Now we need to find E of xy. Any ideas how can we find E of xy?
Covariance of xy equal to E of xy minus mu x mu y.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So we can find E of xy using the covariance because it is x and y. That should be your hint because it is using both x and y. So we need to use covariance. So E of xy is nothing but covariance of xy plus mu x mu y. So I'm using the definition of covariance, right? And we have already found the covariance, which is negative 24.5 plus mu x mu y will be 6 into 4, that is 24. Therefore, we get negative 0.5. Right? So E of mu x. So now in this equation E of mu x, now we also have E of xy, right? So therefore, E of ux, E of ux will be 3 times E of x square, which is 41, plus 2 times E of xy, which is negative 0.5. So let's see what we get here. 122. Yes, am I right? Anyone? Right? So we get 122. Okay, but that is not our aim. Yeah, that is not our aim. We don't want to find E of ux, right? Our aim is to find E of ux, right? Our aim is to find E of ux there. Okay, so E of ux is found, and from here, our original aim was to find covariance of ux. This one here, covariance of ux. We already have the value of mu x, mu u, mu x, right? Because these values are given. Now we have found E of ux, right? So therefore, covariance ux is E of ux minus mu u mu x. Therefore, this value will be 122, which we have just found. Mu u and mu x, right? So mu u is 24, which we have found. Mu x is given, which is 4. So what we get here is 26. Just check if you get 26.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So that's how we can find covariance ux. Okay. So now, in the same manner, we need to find the third value, right? We need to find the third value, and that third value is covariance uy. Okay. So I'll leave this up. Okay, you can start finding the value of covariance of uy. It is the same process that we did for covariance of ux. So take a minute to solve it, and after a minute, I'll also start solving. I'll just need to find covariance of uy. Okay. So I'll scroll up. This is how you need to find. So covariance of ux was found like that. Instead of ux, okay. Instead of ux, it's adjust the RHS that way. So I hope you have already proceeded. Okay, so I'll also start solving now, and you can match. Okay. So covariance of uy is E of uy minus mu y. U is 3x plus 2y. So mu u will be 3 mu x plus 2 mu y, which will be 24. Mu y is already given, which is 6. So we have the second term with this. Need to find E of uy, which will be E of 3x plus 2y into y, which will be E of 3xy plus 2y square. So E of uy will be E of 3xy plus E of 2y square, which will be 3E of xy plus 2E of y square. So E of xy we already have, which is negative 0.5. The E of y square is sigma y square plus mu y square, which will be 49 plus 36, which is 85, right? Therefore, E of uy is let's see, 3 into negative 0.5 plus 2 into 85, 168.5. Check the answer with me. Okay? And we have covariance uy, therefore will be E of uy plus, or rather negative mu u mu y. So therefore this will be 168.5 minus 24 is mu u and mu y is 26. So therefore covariance of uy is so this will be 168.5 minus 144. So this answer I get is 24.5. Please check if you are getting that.
24.
Yes, sir.
Yes, 24.5. Anyone else getting that answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So it's a tedious process, but if you go step by step and write all the steps and not skip any step, then most likely you will be right. Okay. So this is a very common question on transformation. Okay. So you can expect only similar questions, only the values will change. That's okay. Or the transformation is going to change, but the process will remain the same. Okay. Okay. So let's solve one more numerical that will give us good practice, and we'll follow this up with what we are trying to do in the next class. Okay. Okay. So the next question is the zero mean bivariate random variables x1 and x2 have the following variances. Okay, so we are given variance of x1 is 2, variance of x2 is 4. Okay, next statement, their correlation coefficient. Next part, random variables y1 and y2 are obtained from y1 equal to 3x1 plus 4x2 and y2 equal to negative x1 plus 2x2. One variance of y1, 2 variance of y2, and 3 covariance y1, y2. So this is the question. So I'll just scroll up because yeah, it should be visible, right? So we are given zero mean bivariate random variable. Okay, so that's very important. It's not given mathematically, it's given in words, but this is zero mean bivariate RVs, right? So that is very, very important for us because the mean values are given as 0, right? So the zero mean bivariate random variables. So x1 and x2, they are having variances 2 and 4. Okay, and their correlation is 0.8, and you are getting random variables y1 and y2 with those transformations, right? Y1 is 3x1 plus 4x2, and y2 is x negative x1 plus 2x2, and we need to find those variances y1 and y2 and covariance y, right? So again, first we should write what is given to us. So the very first thing we are given is mu x1 is 0, mu x2 is also 0, because they are 0 mean random variables. We are given variance of x1, which is 2, and we are given variance of x2, which is 4, and we are given the correlation coefficient, that is rho x1 x2, which is 0.8. Okay. Please be careful with this variance and standard deviation. Okay. I see students make a lot of mistakes, right? In fact, even I, sometimes don't consider. So please read it very carefully whether variance. So that's why writing it mathematically will give you a complete picture. Okay. Okay. The other thing what we are given, right? We can note down here itself. We are given y1 as 3x1 plus 4x2, right? And any transformation is of the form ax1 plus b or cx1 plus cx2. So let us have y1 as ax1 plus bx2, and we'll have y2 as cx1 plus dx2, right? So we can see the transformation, or let me rewrite here. Y1 is 3x1 plus 4x2, and y2 is negative x1 plus 2x2. Therefore, from here we can get the variables value. So we can get, the constant value. So we can get a as 3, b as 4, c as negative 1, and d as 2. Right? So these values will be important. This will be helpful for us later. Okay, so now let's try to find the values. You must already be a little happy because the mean values are 0. Okay, so the things are going to be a little easier in this problem, right? So first we need to find variance of y1. Let me write this mathematically. Sigma square y. That's what we need to find, right? Now we know that variance of the other random variable, that is y1, will be of the form, I'm not deriving, we derived it in the last numerical. So it will be of the form a square sigma x1 square plus b square sigma x2 square plus 2ab covariance of x1 x2. Okay. So I derived this in the last problem, right? Now we are given the value of sigma x1 square and sigma x2 square, right? We can find the value of covariance of x1 x2 as rho x1 x2 into sigma x1 sigma x2, right? So now you have all the values. Let me know what value do you get for variance of y1. Okay. First, you let me know what value of covariance you get, and then finally we'll see what value of variance of y1 we get. Please understand we are given the variance value, okay, and sigma x1, sigma x2 are standard deviations. Yeah, so let me check. You'll get 0.8, which is given, and you have root 2 into 2. Yeah, so 2.261, right? And then from there, let's try to find variance of y1. So we'll get 9 into 2 plus 16 into 4 plus 2 into 3 into 4 into 2.261. Let's see what I get. Variance of y1. 136.3. Check.
One 36.28.
Yeah, 136.3. Okay, that's good. Now try to find variance of y2. Follow the similar process and let's see what value do we get for variance of y2. Okay, so I'll just give you a second or a minute. Try to find it and then I'll solve it. You can match your answer. So for the random variable y2, we'll have cx1 plus dx2. So therefore, the constant values of c and d must be used, right? I hope you're able to write that equation. Again, I'm not deriving it because we have derived this in the previous numerical, right? So sigma y square in this case is going to be c square sigma x1 square plus d square sigma x2 square plus 2cd covariance of x1 x2, right? So there's not much change, just a and b have been changed by c and d, right? So plugging in the values, c is -1, so square will make it 1 into 2 plus 4 into 4 plus 2 into -1 into 2, and this covariance is 2.261, right? Get some 8.95. Do you get something like that? Somewhere around that value. Let's check.
Yes.
Around 8.949 something. So approximately 8.95. Anyone else with that value?
Yes, sir. 8.96.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, okay, that's fine because we would have made some approximation in the covariance value. So based on that, you'll have a decimal approximation after 2 or 3 terms is fine, but the original value before the decimal and the first term after the decimal should be the same. So around 8.9, right? Okay. And lastly, we need to find covariance of y1, y2, right? So this basically means how these two random variables y1 and y2 are related to each other, and they are not the original random variables. These are the transformed random variables, right? So the applications are much more for the transformed random variables, right? So this we had already done before, so I'll just show you the equation. Okay, so let me go back to the previous lectures derivation which we had done. Okay, and I'll show you. So this is the equation which we are going to use, right? Covariance of UV, right? But in the numerical, we need to find the covariance of y1, y2. So only the parameters have changed, but the equation will be the same, right? So we'll have AC sigma x square plus b into d sigma y square plus in bracket b into c plus a into d covariance of xy, right? So this is a very important equation. We have already derived this. Okay, so I'll go back to that problem. So I'm going to use that same equation and I'll rewrite that equation. So now we'll write this in terms of y1 and y2. Okay. So this will be a into c sigma x1 square plus b into d sigma x2 square plus b into c plus a into d covariance of x1. Now it's as simple as just plugging in the values and doing the algebra and getting your answer, right? So please don't make mistake here in plugging in the values and calculation. You can check with me. I'm also solving. Somewhere around 30.52. Check. Anyone with that answer? 30.52.
Sir, 35.04.
Yeah. So again, you'll have an approximation, but around 30.5. Anyone else? Any other student with that answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So I've shown you two numericals based on the properties of transformation. Okay.
Okay, am I audible? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, I just got disconnected there, but anyway, so we have completed the numerical. So just saying, in the next lecture, we'll be starting with the joint probabilities. Okay. Again, please revise and come to the next lecture. Otherwise, it just looks new to you. Okay. So for your IA, we'll be having module 2 for sure, and probably some part of module 3, right? So that way we'll be able to cover the entire part of the syllabus. Okay. Okay, I'll see you in the next lecture.